Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Hi. Thanks so much for stepping back into the room here with us again. Hope you guys had a great break and we're ready to step into the next segment of our program today. Just probably wait a minute or two to see who all else is going to join back in here with us. Welcome, Elizabeth. Hi, Dina. Nice to see you. Hey, Lynn. Hi, Lori. Welcome back, Barb. April, wonderful to see you, my darling. I just keep touching the different crystals on your giveaway that you gave us. And I keep reminding myself, especially of, the amethyst to remember to quiet my mind and to tap into intuition, because I would love to be able to share with everybody in the best possible way. Christy, welcome. So for those of you who don't know, Christy Sullivan is one of my very, very dear friends, and Christy has her new book out. We're like book twins this week. So I have Be the Vegan, and Christy, can you unmute and just share a little bit about the name of your book and what all's been going on with that?
Oh, that's a nice surprise. I was right timing. Thank you, Davia. I was late because we just had our launch party on Facebook. Thank you, Robin. So you can always go there and listen to the recording. But it's called Stop Overworking and Start Overflowing: 25 Ways to Transform Your Life Using Human Design. Most of you have seen it coming out, my baby. And yeah, it's just a collaborative book in the style that Liz has done with many of us, this amazing collaborative process, and 25 different authors, human design experts who came together, wrote a chapter. If you don't know what human design is, pick up the book because it's an easy read. Thank you so much, Davia. And congratulations to you and all the Beacon authors. Oh my gosh, so amazing to hear them yesterday. And
Yeah, I think we just had a little bit of feedback there, but can everybody hear me? Can I see everybody just raising hands? Can everybody hear me? Okay, great. Thank you so much, Christy. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. And this is something that I want us to all recognize. Look, guys, this is an opportunity for all of us to shine. And so Christy has a book coming out this weekend, speaking to her audience and being the beacon. And our beacon authors have a book coming out this week as well. And we're speaking out and being a beacon to the people who want to follow us. And there is no one that has to eclipse or outshine the other. We're all here and we're all in this together. Does everybody understand that? Does everybody get that? Is that hitting you like right here in the fields? Do you understand? So in addition to hashtag Be the Beacon, go get your book, download the book, please, so that we can, rise in the ranks, leave us a review, and also post about it on social. But also do check out Christy's book and do all those things for Christy as well. Can I ask you guys to do that for us, please? Thank you so much. I love Christy. You guys probably have heard me say this before. So if you've heard before, just sing along. Christy and I, my first retreat that I ever led, Christy was my retreat partner. That's how far we've been coming from. And when I talked about this morning about me being hustle and all of that thing, Christy knows that version of me very, very well. I know. So it's just a joy for us to be able to be together as we transform and be the beacon and to see how far we've come. It's a wonderful thing. Time for another retreat. I know. So guys, what I wanted to do this morning is I wanted to give an opportunity for somebody to hop into the love seat, as we call it, because we could call it the hot seat because we're beacons and we're all about the fire burning within, right? But let's call it the love seat. And I wanted to invite somebody to be the beacon for all of us beacons today in that capacity, and where we can just really brainstorm and hash out how we can get to our next steps, I asked for people to send us a form, and a couple of people responded. I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk to everybody about their dream, but I definitely would like to start with Marianne and see how far we get. Okay. So, Marianne, may I invite you to unmute and let's have some discussion about how we can get you to shine your beacon brighter. Welcome, Marianne.
Howdy.
Howdy. Where are you calling in from?
Texas.
Texas. What? So awesome stuff. You are doing amazing things in the world. I know it. You know it, but maybe everybody else doesn't. Can you share with everybody who you are and what it is that you're doing in the world?
Oh, first of all, underneath it all, I am joy. I am love in the flesh. Does my mind and body always express it? No, but who I am. And how I'm expressing that in the world is I am a spiritual medium. I am an oracle for my spirit guides the many, and I am a joy advocate because I didn't live in joy for so long and got to come out of that and start thriving in joy. So that's my main expression. I just want to share that with people who maybe have come from a similar background of indoctrinated beliefs and want to move into their own spiritual sovereignty. So that's kind of where I am. And so I'm in the process of working with Liz, got a book coming, and I'm hoping it will be a series of mini books. And it's 12 lessons so that it could kind of be like a 3-month program for somebody that they could do, that they could take it under different kinds of topics.
Okay, so sounds great, right? Everybody agrees. If everybody thinks that what Marianne is offering sounds like this is definitely a beacon. This is not a just get up and get a paycheck kind of job. This is like beacon type of job, type beacon in the chat. Guys, just give Marianne some support. Let her know that we know that this is a beacon, right? You are a beacon. So magic wand time. Guys, for those of you here who are coaches, the questions I'm about to ask, they are the questions that every coach asks of her clients, right? If you were to wave a magic wand, Marianne, on your business, and I don't have a magic wand, but I have a magic flag. So let's wave that magic flag. What would your business look like?
It's kind of like what I wrote on the form, that I would have so many books out there that it would just garner interest from the media, to have television interviews and radio interviews and things like that, because I know that joy is what people are seeking. Whether they can put that into words yet, it's the vibration their spirit is calling them to be in joy. So many books, in this series. And then, yesterday getting that idea for some kind of a book that's about unmuted, because my voice was so squelched for so many years because of my beliefs that my voice wasn't important. I wasn't important as a woman. My needs weren't important. My wants weren't important. So be quiet. Just support everybody else. And, so coming into the point of now getting to use my voice, through the podcasts and through interviews and things like that, that it's just been, giving messages from the many has just been such a joy and delight that I would like to see that expanded.
So that sounds wonderful. Who thinks that sounds wonderful? Type yes in the chat. Who thinks that sounds good? That sounds great. But I hear what you're saying, Marianne, but I also hear what you're not saying. Can everybody hear that? That what's happening under her words? It sounds as though, and let me know if I'm wrong, because I could be completely off the mark, but Gina Johnson will tell you that I hardly ever am, because our brains are always working like in synchronicity. But is everybody hearing that doubt under the voice?
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a little bit of doubt in there. So I guess my question is, what's happening now? You know, you have this vision of you being the beacon, like the beacon, the one that
Mhm.
has all these best-selling books, the one that is on, what did you guys put in the chat? Oprah and Good Morning America and all of this other stuff. What's happening now? Where are you at in your journey?
Um, I'm working with Liz,
Mm-hmm.
and so that'll be my first one out. And you know, I have a list of all the other ones that, you know, so many more that I want to do. So I'm on that path. I finally took that leap to jump in and work with Liz. And you know, it's always that thing in the back of my mind that where my doubt is that everything I've offered so far, I've never had any takers.
But I
So
have a question for you, Marianne. If you
Mhm.
had takers for those things that you'd offered so far, would you be offering the thing that you're offering now? Or would you
um,
be still offering the things that you used to offer then?
I don't know, because I've always wanted to write books. That's always
Mm-hmm.
been an underlying desire.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's always been there because my writing is so important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and I know, like we've talked about before, I know I don't want to necessarily coach. I want to answer questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree with you. Everybody who knows me knows that
yeah.
you and I were on the same page with that. That's not our thing.
Mm,
Yeah. But there is still, in addition to, you know, it's understandable to have doubts and that sort of thing, but I'm sensing that there is a layer of reluctance underneath all of that. There's something else. There's a little bit more. Can you feel it, or is that not available to you right now?
oh, I know there's resistance. I know there's that reluctance there. Um, absolutely. Uh, I, you know, and part of it is, you know, fearing notoriety because I am a very person who loves my solace, my personal life, my quiet. So, you know, it's that kind of thing. Feeling like you have to be on all the time because that's not the way I express. You know, my expression magician is very in the moment. So it's really hard for me to schedule things. I'm not a good planner
Mhm.
because I was, for one thing, I'm not a good planner because I didn't learn how to plan or do business plans or plan schedules because I was so sick for so many years, you know, into my 40s that I never knew if I could do anything. So to plan something out ahead now, I just don't even, my brain just doesn't even go there. It's like somebody told me, okay, show up here. Well, I could do that. But to make my own plan, I think that's where I get sidetracked so much of the time is because I don't have that structure, you know, the riverbank helping my feminine flow to keep me on track day by day. That's where I know I fall down very much.
Okay. I think
Mhm.
you've just identified your exact next step. I think you have. I think you've identified what the gap is between where you are and where you want to be now. I think you realize that you're on the right track. And I think you realize that your energy around your project could use a little work.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because
Absolutely.
you're saying things like, I'm not a good planner. I was writing stuff down, guys, because remember, we talked about this. Unless it's written down, it doesn't exist in my head. We talked about, I'm not a good planner. I don't want to be on all the time. I need the structure of the riverbank helping my feminine flow. I love that, by the way. I'm going to use that at some point in life. You might hear me saying, oh, Marianne said, ... So what if though? Because remember yesterday we walked into our portal, right? Our portal that was a complete blank slate of what we want our business to look like in our future. And when we walked into our portal, we had the easy button. We had the paintbrush. We could design that whole thing the way we wanted. Like we didn't need to bring any of the baggage from the past into the portal if we didn't want to. We got to choose. So what if you decide that you want to choose not being a good planner as part of your picture that you're painting? What if you choose that you don't want to be on all the time? You only want to be on when you want to be on? What if you choose that you would like to have built into whatever it is that you're offering some structure to help guide your feminine flow along? What if you did that?
Mhm.
Then would we be able to take your vision out of the portal and into the real world? Thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I want to take that structure and I want to learn how to do that because, you know, I know that's what's going to bolt me forward, keeping me on track. Yeah, I understand that. That's,
I think for you, there are two things that I would make as a recommendation. So, guys, I'm not a coach. I mean, I've had some training, but that is not where I shine. I shine when I'm shining the light on others. That's my beacon. But
Mhm.
what I can tell you is that I do get intuitive hits on a regular about people. And the thing that's coming through very, very clearly for me right now is, Marianne, that your energy around your projects is where you need to focus your attention.
Oh.
That's thing one. And thing two, and you could do it with Ladies Power Lunch, or you could do it in a totally different way. That is completely your choice. But there is an opportunity for you to get yourself aligned with a program that is focused on getting you visible out there, a program that will give you the opportunity to increase your reach, increase your impact, and also increase your authority in the media space.
Mhm.
Of course, Ladies Power Lunch offers that kind of program, but you don't have to look, nobody ever has to do anything with us. But if you do choose to do that, I do know that our team will be really, really willing and ready to help you along the way. But the first step for you, the very next step on the staircase for you is that energy.
Mhm.
Talk to me about
Absolutely.
what you're hearing from what I'm saying.
Oh, yes. You're saying the same thing that many have been telling me.
So the many have been telling you this,
Yes.
but you weren't listening to the many. So then they're coming and they're saying, hey, Davia, tell Mary this because
Yeah,
she's
that's right.
not listening to us. That's pretty hilarious. I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So,
Being in that joy, doing things that make me joyful
mhm,
rather than, and I think that's why I know that's why I set aside the podcast for the next couple of months anyway,
mhm,
because that it was just like one more thing I had to do, you know, at this time when I know my focus is my writing.
mhm, mhm.
So yeah, it's
But
very much.
Marianne, I want to cut you off right there because here's the thing. What if you didn't have to decide what the structure was? What if you didn't have to decide that I just have to focus on my writing right now? What if there was a structure that was already built out, and you just plug yourself into it where it needs to be, so that
Mm,
today is the day when we're working on publishing things. Today is the day when we're working on speaking things. Today is the day when we're working on podcasting things. Today is the day when we're working on course creation, and we're able to have somebody else that's not you take over that planning piece. How would that feel for you?
yeah. Oh, that would be just like relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, if I could just have somebody tell me, okay, today you're going to work on
Yeah.
this and tomorrow you're going
Yeah.
to somebody else could plan my schedule. I could probably follow that.
I'm pretty sure you would. And not only just have somebody else plan your schedule, but have intuitive project guidance.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
How about that, right? And that is what we work on together when we do these programs with the clients that we take on. So I feel, Marianne, like your path is laid out ahead of you, and you just know what the next step is. And that's all you need to know. Your job right now is to work on that energy. Because
Mhm.
when you get the energy right, everything else is flowing in. And we know everything you need is in this room. Everything. There's nothing that you need that is not available to you right now. Like
Mm,
Darla loves to say, if the desire is born within you, the means to fulfill it exists. It's there.
absolutely.
Questions for me?
I
How do
I
you
don't
feel? Do you feel like you could take the next step? Ready?
Yeah, I definitely know I need to work on that energy and make sure that whatever I'm doing is aligned. And I'm definitely I know I have to get some kind of structure built around, you know. Absolutely.
And like I said, you can always, you know, tune in, ask the guides if structure that is being offered by Ladies Power Lunch feels
Mhm.
right for you.
Yeah.
You're, I'm trying to remember, you're a manifesting generator.
Mhm.
So you probably do have that yes, no,
Mhm.
instinctive knowing. And so tune into that, and you will know what your next step is. Awesome. So we
Yes.
just have a few minutes left. And is Hannah here? Is Hannah anywhere in the room?
I am.
Hannah, I'm looking for you. There you are. So we're gonna go into the next break at 11:45. So not a ton of time, but I feel like we have just enough time for what we need to do. Real quickly, sum up who you are, what you do.
Me?
Yes, because you are the spotlight.
um, I am Hannah, and I heal the mind, body, and soul in the kitchen.
Okay. So how do you do that?
I do that currently through connection, creativity, and humor, and my energy.
Okay. And what are your offers looking like right now?
Well, Davia, my offer is transitioning.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it always is. I'm brand new, but I just launched a scary offer last night. Well, scary and exciting,
Mhm.
and right and aligned, and so I go from like freaking out to feeling great to freaking out to being like, who the hell am I? Um, to feeling
You're a
excited.
beacon. That's who you are.
Well, yeah. So my next offer is a Cookwell Healing Mastermind, and it's 5 months of virtual cooking classes, and it ends with a retreat in southern Italy. So
Who wants to go to southern Italy? Type Italy in the chat. Oh my gosh, who wants to go? No one? Just type Italy in the chat. I'm just gonna take a minute. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna take a minute to type Italy in the chat.
yeah, but Davia, you'd have to cook to come. Don't forget.
No, y'all will cook and I will eat what all y'all cook. Remember, I work with the microwave.
We do too. Right, Barb? Yeah.
So how do you feel about your new offering? How does that feel for you?
It feels I like can't even believe it. Like I'm just like, it feels like a dream in the best way. And so I'm trying, I too have heard that quote from Darla many times and that you just said, and I'm just really trying to embody that, knowing that if the pull is this strong, then the means to fulfill it will be there. And if not, then I'll learn some lovely lessons on the way.
And so I think it was Christy Borst who said this. It may have been you, Christy, I'm not sure. But somebody in our Beacon group said this the other day, that we're just all having a human experience. We're taking this whole thing way too seriously.
I know, I was up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. being like, Hannah, you have to bring your playful energy to this. Like, this is your lesson. This is what you teach people. Be playful. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be playful, but it's hard.
So keep talking and saying wonderful things about your program and about the trip to Italy. We want to know this in great detail. I'm being called to do something right now, so I'm going to stop my video for a second, and I just want you to keep talking about your program. Say many things about your program.
Okay, so I kind of want to, I wish I could share my screen and show pictures, but I'll just use my phone. So this is let's see how well this works. Can you guys see this?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so this is it. This is where we would be staying. It's where I went to culinary school and lived there. I lived there for 3 months doing this program. This is the view from my bedroom. That's the sunset. And it's magic there. And so that's the end part. And then leading up to that is really kind of, we begin in the kitchen, we bring playfulness into nutrition, into health, into cooking, as a group and as a place to connect and chat and be silly. And then I envision taking that one step further into integration and implementation of that type of energy that we cultivate in the kitchen into other aspects of your life, into your business launch, into your scary offer, into your relationships or whatever it may be. And just really creating that place of exploration and support. And I envision bringing a bit more woo-woo, as Barb would say, some like cards. I've been really getting into that, as Robin knows. I text her like every day with my cards. I did pull one at 3 a.m. and it was the sun, which is the one I pulled and the one that Darla sent me. So yeah.
Okay, it's interesting that you mentioned cards, because the hit that I was just getting is that we need to pull a card for you. So I am pulling from, I'm just going to share with you guys this deck. It's called the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and it's one that I use a lot. And oh my goodness.
What is it?
Can you guys see this?
No.
It says collaborative dreaming. I swear to you guys, I just pulled this card, like I have witnesses here with me in Retreat Host that can tell you I just randomly pulled this card. There are no mistakes. There are only synchronicities. And what I can say is that Here's the deal, Hannah. Guys, drop in the chat. Does Hannah's what Hannah offering sounding amazing? Sounds great, right? Say great in the chat. It sounds great. It's awesome. We're gonna, it's a great offer. There's no doubt about it. Problem is, for many of us, we are hiding our light under a bushel, as the saying goes. We are playing a small game when there's 7.7 billion people in the world who kind of need to hear about what it is that you're offering. And with 7.7 billion people in the world, there's a great opportunity for you to share what you have. And I feel like with 7.7 billion people in the world, you can fill a program. I'm just saying, like, who's with me? You can, right? It's possible. So I would say collaboration. See, the cards don't lie. Collaboration is the way to go for you on this. And it's no mistake, because I know also, like Christy would ask you, what's your human design, right? I know that you're also a projector like me. So you're here to shine your light, but a beacon doesn't run all around the island looking for people to say, hey, can I shine a light for you? The beacon just shines. And then the people come and they give the beacon an invitation to shine their light. The best way for you forward right now is through collaboration. That's what the cards are saying. And there's an opportunity to spread the word about what you're doing through publishing and speaking and podcasting and up-leveling your branding and tying all of that together with the collaboration tools of asking, being in alignment, making sure that you're all in, making sure that everybody on your project is in alignment, and of course, making sure that you're taking advantage of the apps and the technology and the people that you can use for support with delegation. There is a lot there, and it sounds like a lot, but if you step into the framework of what we offer with Ladies Power Lunch, I know you can do it. And as always, my suggestion is always to everybody, hey, you could do this anywhere, but the principles are always going to be the same. What are you thinking, Hannah? How's that feeling for you?
That feels good. It also feels really special to have been able to share this with everyone and be witness. So thank you for holding space. I was texting Lori beforehand, being like, I don't want to be coach. I don't want to be coach. I don't want to be seen. But
well, here's the thing. I don't coach anybody. I am not a coach, but sometimes I do get, very often, all the time, I do get intuitive hits. And I had no plan of what we were going to talk about. And the hit was pull a card, and it says collaborative dreaming. So you go ahead. I'm going to post the card in the forum later, and go ahead and take a look at it, because it is everything. Collaboration is your way forward. True story. And we do have a framework that we are offering with Ladies Power Lunch that can help you. And I want to say thank you for being open to sharing that all with us today. Thank you so much.
thank you, everyone.
All right. So, guys, that was tons of fun. And I want to thank everybody for just being here to be an ear for Marianne and to be an ear also for Hannah. For those of you who submitted a form and we didn't get a chance to bring you on in this program, just know that I'll reach out to you afterwards and we'll get a chance for me to talk to you and for me to help you arrive at whatever your next best step is going to be. Because that's what's important, knowing what your next best step is going to be. That's going to be the most important thing. I want to share something with you all. We've been offering Ladies Power Lunch as a group for pretty much 11 years, but over the last 8 years, we've been doing it for real. And it's been a place where people can come to, mostly women, but a few amazing men, where people can come to know that they can meet up with other like-minded entrepreneurs or other like-minded corporate people or other like-minded people in business who want to grow their businesses, but they want to do it in that more source-led way. And so that's been available to you. And guys, it's going to be there forever if I can help it. It'll always be there. While we were launching our book, Grow Smarter, though, we realized that there's an opportunity because we have some of our members who want to take the next step in their business and they want to see like how they could do it better. And so if you had a chance to read Be the Beacon and read my little story, you probably have heard all of this. You know, I tuned in. I don't have a lot of space and time in my house because I have two small children and they have no boundaries, they have no borders, they just show up. So I think I was saying it to, was it Lori that I was talking to this morning? And I was saying to her, listen, my master bathroom is like my solace. There's a bench in there and I'll sit there and I'll just use that little quiet time to tune in. And so I sat on my bench and I tuned in. And one of the things that was coming through to me is that there's a great opportunity. Debbie, you know what it's like to just sit and tune in and just get download after download after download. You know what that's like, Marianne. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I have this ongoing conversation with Spirit, which I don't talk about very much because I know people are going to think it's completely cuckoo. But Spirit was like, well, here's the deal. People have been coaching. So they have all the things that they need for coaching. They have business coaches to help them guide them through every piece of their business. Am I right? Don't you guys have enough coaches? I don't want to be one of them. Let me just make that very clear. Number two, Spirit said also that, you know what? People have also enough business coaches and enough personal coaches for personal development. That's not really where the issue is. There is a little bit of disconnect between having the idea and launching it in an appropriate way where it'll be seen by all the people who need to see it. I did mention that there's 7.7 billion people on the planet, but guys, here's the deal about being the beacon. Can you see my beacon now? Can you see my beacon now? Can anybody see my beacon? How about now? Can you see my beacon? See, the thing about the beacon is that it does need visibility. And so, yes, we've done all the things, and I have too. I always have a coach through my personal development, coach through my business, all of those things. But there's a little bit of a gap between having that coaching and actually getting the visibility that's required. So I'm like, okay, thanks, Source. We really get it. There's a gap. What do we do now? What can we offer to our Ladies Power Lunch group to help them to bridge that gap from being the beacon to being the visible beacon? And this is what Source said to me. Source said, well, you got to start with making sure that you have some authority in the media landscape. I know, Source knows about authority in media landscapes. Isn't that amazing? Great stuff. You got to know about getting some authority. You have to kind of be seen as the person in your field who is standing out, or at least a person in your field who is standing out. And so Source said a good way to do this is through publishing. and being a best-selling author? Because I guarantee, guys, and I want you to drop in the chat. If you're a Beacon author, can you just drop in the chat for me? Do you feel like you have more authority now that you can say that you're a best-selling author? Just type yes if you believe like you have a little bit more authority now that you're part of this project. And that's just a feeling that you have, because I want to tell you something. I'm going to break it to you really, really simply, but it's going to make a ton of sense. Nothing about you has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed. You're still the exact same person that you were before we launched the book, before Amazon gave us all these stamps for new and now and #1 and coaching and leadership and all of these fun titles. You're still the exact same person. But what's happening now is that more eyes are getting on you and more eyes are getting on your project just because you now have that moniker of best-selling author. True story. Next thing that was brought to my attention to bridge that gap between, being the beacon and being the visible beacon is that being seen on stages, whether it's virtual stages or like what we're doing here today, or in-person stages like what we're going to be doing in the spring, being on stage and sharing your beacon is a really, really great way to get visibility. And doing that more often is the way to go. I said, okay, that sounds great. What else? Because, people know about publishing and people know about speaking. Is there anything else that we can talk to people about? And it was hilarious. I actually started laughing. It's not really that funny, but I'm easily amused. I was also told that, you know what? Podcasting is the #1 new media format in the world. And I'm like, ha ha ha, source, you know about podcasting. That's funny. But the truth is, there is a great opportunity there. And it goes back to what Hannah and I were talking about just now. It's not just you putting up a podcast and it's sitting there and languishing, because I can promise you, if you put up a podcast today, it's going to be, and we don't use this word competition lightly, but it's going to be competing with all the million plus podcasts that are out there. So getting eyes on your podcast is going to require for you to have collaboration with other podcasters. So they're sharing your podcast and you're sharing their podcast. And before you know it, all these different audiences are tuning into you. That's how it works. At least that's what I was told. Up-leveling your branding. All right, I talked this morning a little bit about cobbling things together. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the websites that I've made, but guys, they're not great. A lot of us have been doing our own branding, doing our own, and resourcefulness is important for the entrepreneur, right? Jamaican people, and my parents are Jamaican, like to say we stand on crooked and we cut straight. We do the best we can in the circumstances that we have available to us. But here's the thing about being a part of a collaboration, being a part of a group like Ladies Power Lunch. You have an opportunity to take advantage of the people who are a part of your collaboration. You have an opportunity to up-level your brand, to have that professional, shiny, glossy, beautiful look. And one of the thoughts that was coming into my mind was, well, I don't know if I can afford it, And I want you to say, put that on the back burner for a minute and just think about what it would look like if you're able to up-level your brand. Because if you're able to do that, then you're going to be attracting a whole different group of people that wouldn't even have given you a second look with your homemade branding. True story. I am classic example of that. And then the last piece is to just tie it all together with that sweet, sweet collaboration, like what the card that we pulled this morning had to offer us. Great stuff. So publishing, speaking, podcasting, up-leveling your branding and tying it all together with collaboration tools. And this is an offer, guys. You know how I was talking earlier about the fact that opportunities are all around us and that you have to really tune in and decide, is this opportunity for me? Well, we have an offer for you. And this offer is for you to join the Ladies Power Lunch Visibility Circle. What that's going to mean for you is that you will be part of our next collaboration book. We are going to not just put some stories together, but we're going to be working over the next 12 months to make sure that the stories that you bring to the collaboration book are the right stories to grow your business. We're going to be working on also increasing your visibility out in public media so that we'll be having monthly writing projects, we'll be having retreats for writing. We're really going to, like what Marianne needs, we're really going to be putting some structure around your writing so that at the end of the day, the product that you're putting out there is going to have that glossy professional look. And it's also going to be seen by more people. Because who here was the math maven? Who was doing the math? So let's say each of us have in our there are 20, we have room for 20 people on this collaboration book project, okay? So let's say we have 20 people and each of us has a list, social media following of say maybe about 3,000 people. Give some room for overlap. That means that when your story gets out there, it's going to be seen by about 50,000 people. Who sneezes at 50,000 people? Not me. I feel like that's amazing. Okay, so that's just phase one because we're also, and remember, this is a structure. So Marianne, I know you're worried like, oh my gosh, it sounds like this is going to be way too much work, but the framework's already been set up for you, right? So you just get to play with the colors. And we say to you, hey, you need to write this today. Hey, you need to speak on this platform today. Hey, you need to go on this podcast today. We tell you, it's just plug and play. So the next thing is going to be the speaking things that we're organizing. And of course, we are going to be focusing on the 3 pieces of speaking that are super important. Developing your story, because your story has to be engaging. Developing your delivery. And of course, developing opportunities for you to get booked, not just on Ladies Power Lunch stages, but on other stages that are out there. Who wants to do more speaking? Type yes in the chat. Anybody? Nobody? Nobody wants to do speaking. Michelle wants to do more speaking. Jamie, Lori, Barb, Marianne, yes, more speaking. Podcasting. Not sending anybody out there to go start your own podcast, but actually inviting you to be co-podcasters on the Ladies Power Lunch podcast. So again, do the math again. Your audience is about maybe 2,000 people. You're working with 20 other people. Suddenly you have an audience of 50,000. The number one thing on this is collaboration. Our branding partner, who's been designing our books and doing our graphics and all this fun stuff, is Infinity Brand Design. And you have seen the quality of the work that she puts out and her team puts out. So you know that whatever you're going to be doing with us is going to be at the next level. It's going to be the level where if NBC Universal calls up and says, hey, Marianne, we need you to come on the show. We need to see your author kit. When you submit your author kit, that thing looks professional. It can stand up beside Stedman Graham's on any day of the week. Who's with me? Type yes in the chat. Nobody's with me. That's awesome. Guys, it's almost time for us to break out for lunch. So I'm going to offer an opportunity here. This is an offer. This is a real live offer. I don't do well with offers. I really often hesitate to make an offer, to ask anybody to participate in anything that I'm doing. But here's the thing about this. I feel so strongly about it. I feel like there is really nothing that is more important right now for you to go from being this to being this, for you to shine your light. There's nothing more important than making sure that you have the visibility that's required. 20 spaces for the next Ladies Power Lunch anthology book. 20 spaces for our publishing, speaking, podcasting, branding, collaboration that we're putting together. If you want to know more about it, if you want to know things like pricing and that sort of thing, I want to invite you to go to the webpage that has been so beautifully designed by Barb Pritchard. It's at growsmarternotharder.com. I'm hoping somebody can drop that in the chat for me, please. growsmarternotharder.com. And if anybody has questions, if anybody wants to know more about what exactly are we going to be doing with the publishing, well, the speaking, how's that going to work? Podcasting, what do you mean by that? Up-leveling my branding, what on earth is that? How are we going to tie that all together with collaboration tools? If you have questions, there is going to be a link in the lobby. It's going to be active as soon as we get out of this session. And basically, it'll be an opportunity for you to pop in the room and chat with me and Elizabeth and ask any questions that might come to mind. So go to this website, growsmarternotharder.com, to get more information about this offer, because I know, you know how we always say that if you work it, it works? I know this works for increasing visibility. And every piece of this program we have done over a few years now, and we've seen the results firsthand. So I'm inviting you, and it's just an invitation. And there are only 20 spots, but I'm inviting you to hop on over, check it out, and come chat with us if you have any questions. All right, guys, any final words, questions, comments? Marianne says I need to stop asking for disparaging remarks, but if you have any, hey, this is the time. Everybody's so quiet. I think you're all really shocked because you've never seen me make an offer before. Am I right? But see, I believe in this so much. I'm really, really fired up about this. And I just want you to give it some consideration, go on over and have a look at it. And if you have any questions, pop on over into the chat. We will be joining each other again in, I want to say 12:45 is the next session where we're all going to be together, and we're going to be talking to the lighthouse beacons, and then we're going to go into the beacon breakouts. So I want you guys to stay tuned for that. But for now, we're going to go into our break. I want to thank everybody who participated this morning. Marianne and Hannah, your bravery is amazing. I love you guys so much. Thanks, Elizabeth, for participating in the first half of the program, and I'll see you guys in the next break. Bye, everyone.